Hey, welcome everybody this day after Thanksgiving. Hope you all enjoyed your dinner and time with family if you were getting together with people yesterday. It was nice to actually gather with people for the first time in a few years. So it was a new experience. But no matter what, we will think about our digestion today, since we had a lot of food yesterday, perhaps to process in our bodies. We'll pay attention to twists that help to stimulate the digestive system. So take a few moments to just feel your breath, sit up nice and tall in your seat, and breathing in and out. See if you can fill your lungs completely when you inhale, and make sure that when you exhale, you empty all the air out. You can draw your navel towards your spine a little bit at the end of the exhalation to completely empty. And then let a fresh breath come in. Softly roll your shoulders. And then letting your hands just lightly rest on your lap. Check that your feet are directly, your ankles are directly under your knees. Feet are slightly apart and parallel, toes pointing forward, and you're not leaning back in your chair. And then turn your face side to side. Come back to center, lift and lower the chin. And come back to center. I'm going to tip left ear towards left shoulder, and you can stretch your right arm down alongside the chair to deepen the stretch in the neck. Make sure you keep breathing, even though we're holding a position. And if anything feels uncomfortable for you today, don't force it. Right? So you don't have to do everything. You're welcome to take a break if you need it. Let's pivot. So keeping your ear towards your shoulder, turn your face to look slightly up. And then pivoting slightly, looking down towards your left side. And as you come back to center, circle the shoulders. And moving to the other side. Right ear towards your shoulder, left hand can stretch down by the side of your chair. Try to keep facing forward. You're just at a slant, but you're not yet turned towards the ceiling or floor. And breathe. And then pivoting just enough to look up a little bit. Feel the change in the stretch of your neck. And pivoting, chin down a bit. And then come on back to center. Good, let's circle the shoulders a few more times. Good, and then just lift your hands and gently circle at the wrist and reverse the circles. And let's take that right hand out, just like you're stopping traffic. Extend your arm, keeping your hand a little below your shoulder. And with your other hand, gently draw each finger back one at a time. You might crack a knuckle or something. And when you get to the thumb, just gently pull it down towards the wrist. Let's do that on the other side. Left hand out, drawing each finger back a little bit. Thumb towards the wrist. Good, and then turn the right palm up, extend the arm out, and with your other hand, draw the fingertips down. So the arm is extended. You'll feel this in the underside of your wrist. And release. Other side, left arm out, palm turned up and fingertips pulling back gently towards your body. And release, shake out your hands. And I'm going to move over to my other chair. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall so we can start to work on the spine. So come a little forward in your chair if you're not already, so that you're not collapsed back. And if you rock forward on your sitting bones, you'll feel a little more arch in the back. You can even draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Hold the side of the chair if that helps you with that widening across the chest. Lifting your chin, but not too much. So you don't want to drop your head back. And then gently round back on your sitting bones, tail tucking under, belly hugging in, and the head just relaxes. And we'll alternate those actions. So tilting forward and rounding back. And again, tilting forward and rounding back. One more time, coming forward and rounding into the cat stretch. And returning to sit up nice and tall. Okay, let's hold the left side of your chair with your left hand. Sweep that right arm up and overhead, reaching just a little bit on the diagonal. Try to keep the arm in line with your ear, so not letting it get in front of your face. Try to keep that right sit bone pressing into the chair seat. Just feel any change in your breath as you're stretching through the side ribs. It alters your breath a little bit. The ribs pull on the lung tissue. And then release. But let's do the other side. Left arm up, right hand can hold the chair. Reach overhead. Keep the shoulder back. Left hip presses into the chair. Nice full breaths. Feet are comfortably anchored. So you have a little weight on your legs just to help with sitting nice and tall. And then release. Bringing the legs together for our first twist. Right hand can slide along the side of the chair or even to the back of the seat or chair back. Left hand coming across, just reminding your knees to hug together. Take a breath in to sit really tall, and keeping that length, turn your waist, your chest, and finally your head. Looking back over your right shoulder and breathing. And slowly unwind. Let's do the other side. Left hand slides back, right hand across. Lift as you inhale and twist on the exhale. Waist, chest, and head follows. And gently unwind. Walk your feet out a little bit wider. You can lean on your thighs. Try not to lean right on the knees. I always prefer to slide the hands a little higher on the thighs. It's better for your knees. And then tipping forward. Let's twist that right shoulder a little bit towards the midline. And come back up. And then left shoulder tilting in. And coming back up once more on the right. So getting into kind of the back muscles a little bit on the side. Come on up. And then left side. And coming up, take a big breath in. And let it out. Getting ready for our seated sun salutation. We're going to do something when we come up to stand a little later with our breath and the sun breath. But let's start sitting with palms together. Take a good breath in and let it out. And next inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, open the arms and gently bow forward. Now you don't have to go too far if that's not comfortable for your back and neck. But if you want, you can let the head drop. As you inhale, come back up so you're at a slant, but the spine is long. And then inhale, we'll all come up, reach the arms out and up, and exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Full breath in, repeating that section. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften head and neck. And inhale, all the way up. Exhale, palms come to your heart. Pardon me a second, I'm going to let somebody into the class late since it may have been hard to get in early. Okay, so I've let someone new in, and please be sure if you are just beginning the practice, not to overdo. Okay, so take it a little slower until your body is a little more warmed up. Let's bring the hands back to the heart. Repeat that first section, sweeping the arms out and up as you breathe in. Exhale, gently bowing forward as little or as much as you like. Inhale, meeting in this flat spine. Exhale, soften head and neck. And inhale, sweep all the way out and up. Exhale, palms float down to your heart. Let's add the next piece. Take a breath. Let it out. And then inhale into cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up. And tilt. Inhale up. Twist. Inhale, center. And twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in. Start at the beginning. Inhaling up. And exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up. And tilt. Inhale up. Twist. Inhale, center. And twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in. Going to go right on to add another piece. We'll inhale, right arm up, back of the left hand down, slide down against the inner leg as you look up. Inhale, rising up, switch the arms. Right hand slides down, press arm into leg, looking up. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, palms to heart. Full breath in. Let's do a few rounds of the whole sequence. Inhaling up. And exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften head and neck. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up. And tilt. Inhale up. Twist. Inhale, center. And twist. Inhale, center. Hands to heart. Inhale, right arm up, back of the left hand down. Slide against the leg as you look up. Inhale, rising up, switch the arms. Right hand slides down, look up. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in and out from the beginning. Inhale up. Exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale, up. And tilt. Inhale, up. Twist. Inhale, center. And twist. Inhale, center. Hands to heart. Inhale, right arm up, back of the left hand down. Turn to look up as you slide your left hand down. And then rising up, switch the arms, other side. Inhale, coming up with both arms. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in. One more round if you're up for it. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale, up and tilt. Inhale, up. Twist. Inhale, center and twist. Inhale, center, hands to heart. Inhale, right arm up, back of the left hand down. Slide the hand down as you look up. Inhale, rising up, switch sides. Other side sliding down. Inhale, both arms stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. One last big breath in, sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, open the arms, float them out to the sides, and gently bring them down to rest on your lap. You're welcome to walk your feet in towards each other. Take a moment to just put your fingertips lightly on your shoulders and make some easy circles with your elbows. So all of these circling actions that we do are helpful to lubricate certain joints, like the ball and socket joint of the shoulder, and we'll be doing some for the hip as well. Okay, so if you need a little break, sit back in your chair. If not, just notice if you've collapsed. You can always bring your hands to the edges of the seat, lightly rooting down to rise up. And creating that space through the side of your body is very helpful for engaging your core. So we're sitting a little taller, the abdominal muscles hug in, but gently. Okay, let's lift the right foot and just circle at the ankle, coming up the ankle joint. And then reverse the circles. And then point and flex a few times. Try and just be mindful of how each action feels. That's the important part of yoga, is bringing our mind together with the body. Release that right leg and lift the left foot, circling at the ankle. These simple warm-ups may feel different on different days, so don't stress about it, no judgment, just feel reversing the circles, feel how things are today. And then flex and point a few times. Good, and relax. Bring that foot back to the floor. Rock a little side to side so you feel those bones, the bottom of your pelvis, the sit bones. I'm going to lift one leg at a time and work a little on the hip joint. So as you lift your right leg, you're going to interlace your fingers underneath. And instead of pulling the leg up, see if you can let the leg drop down into your hands. I like to sit forward on the chair for this. It just makes it a little easier to hold under the leg and let the leg be very passive. So your hands are lifting this heavy leg and moving it in little circles so that it's working into the hip joint. And then change the direction of the circles. Good. As you come back to center, lift that knee up towards your chest. See how high you can lift it up. Breathe. And then walk your left foot in a little bit more towards the midline. And if possible, try to cross your right leg over your left. Left hand across the right knee. If that's too much, you can just cross at the ankle. But you want to keep the legs hugging together. And we're going to float the right arm up and just follow it around with your eyes. All the way looking behind you. And exhale, bring it back. Let's do that again. Float that arm out, follow it with your eyes, turn your torso, look back behind you, and unwind. Last step, lifting that leg. Once again, you can hold behind the thigh again, or even switch the clasp of the hands to the front of the shin. Flex both feet. Notice if you're collapsed back, and try to lift your chest, draw your shoulders back, and hug that leg as close as you can. Both feet flexed and breathing. So you're not leaning into the chair. You can keep the left foot on the floor if you need that for stability, or you can try extending the left leg out straight, really working the abdominal muscles here. Be sure you continue to breathe in and out when you hold the pose. Release before I tell you if you need to, so you don't have to hold as long as I hold. But let's all release now. Both feet come down, shake out your hands, wiggle your fingers. And we'll do the other side. So we're going to lift the left leg, interlace underneath the thigh, and try to let the leg drop heavily into your hands. Move the knee in little circles. And then reverse the circles. Draw that knee in towards you and lift as high as you can. So now your arms are helping you lift. Walk your right foot a little more towards the midline and see if you're able to cross left knee over right. If not, cross down at the ankles, right hand coming across, left arm extending out in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, follow your fingers as you take that arm all the way out to the side and around behind you. And as you exhale, or take a breath in, inhale to unwind. Take another breath in. And once again, exhale, turning, looking back behind you. Take a breath in here. And exhale, unwinding back to center. But once more, lifting that left leg. So you can, again, grasp under the thigh or hold around the shin. You're hugging the leg in as close as you can, but not collapsing. So belly hugs in, chest lifts, flex both feet. If you need for stability to keep your right foot on the floor, that's fine. Want to make sure you continue to breathe. Okay? If you feel steady using your core muscles, maybe you can lift that right foot, stretch that leg out straight, and breathe. Good, and release everything, feet to the floor, shake out your hands, and then gently just bow a little bit forward. Relax your head, you can nod a little bit up and down, like you're saying yes. And then side to side, like you're saying no. Good. So we're going to tilt forward. So you want to keep a long spine, tilting a little bit from the hip joint, right, rather than from the waist. Let your left forearm rest across your thighs. I'm going to work the bicep, the upper arm. Turn your right palm up. Reach that elbow back. So pull your elbow back like you're getting ready to punch. Okay? Instead of punching forward, we're going to try and punch back behind you gently. And keep the elbow high as you continue to bend and straighten that arm.
Hi, this message is for Lisa Bonador. My name is Erin Mills. I'm a social worker at Bellevue. And
Somebody is not muted. Mute yourself.
They were asking me to reach out to you. Oh, I'm sorry. So I work with.
Okay, do the other side. So your left arm is going to turn up, make a fist, lean forward, draw that left elbow back. I'm going to go in. Mute. Continue that stretch of the arm. hopefully that should help the sound. Okay. So if you finish that left arm, let it relax and breathe. Circle the shoulders a few times. And then bending at that right arm, bending the right elbow, fingertips coming to your shoulder. Try to lift that elbow up towards the ceiling. So you can take your left hand and spin the right arm in close to your ear. Support the upper arm to lift the elbow higher. If you can reach overhead, maybe draw the elbow back farther. Breathe. And release. Other side. Left elbow bends, you start to lift it up. Spin the bicep towards your ear, lift as much as you can. Support the front of the arm with the elbow, drawing it back as far as possible, sitting up tall. And gently release and shake everything out. Give yourself a little wiggle jiggle. Good. Let's make some easy circles with the whole torso. Let's feel how your weight shifts from one sitting bone to the other as you come around. And then change the direction of the circles. And as you come back to center, let's open that right leg out to the side. Try not to turn your body. So we just, and then bring it back to center. It's just opening at the hip socket. As wide as you're able to. Feel the stretch in the inner thigh, groin. One more time. And back to center. Let's do the other side. Same thing. Open the leg. Bring it back to center without turning your upper body. And once more. Good. All right, this time we're going to come right to the front edge of the chair. Open that right leg out wide, but slide your hips back a little. So see if your right thigh is right along the front edge of the chair. Your left hip is kind of hanging off. Okay, keep your left foot where it is for a moment and try not to turn your body to the right. So open your chest facing forward. Breathe here. Additional stretch if you want in the leg. Turning the toes, that left foot in a little bit and try to walk that foot out. Kind of heel toe to straighten the leg. It's on a diagonal, so it's a little bit forward as well as to the side until you can straighten and still keep the sole of the foot on the floor. Imagine you're standing on these legs. So this is a very deep warrior two position. We extend the arms out to the side and try and be sure our torso is centered so you're not leaning to the right. Reach back through the left hand and arm as much as you are extending to the right. You can turn and gaze towards the fingers of your right hand. Take a few breaths. Good, and then bring your left hand to your hip or your waist. Turn your right palm up and stretch way out to the right. Bend that elbow and rest your forearm on the thigh. Hug your shoulder back. Open your chest. See if you can turn a little bit more towards the ceiling. And then your left arm can stretch straight up, palm facing your head. If it feels okay for your shoulder, perhaps bringing that arm closer to your ear and lengthening on this diagonal. Breathe deeply. Again, think about standing to do this pose. Use the chair, we get much deeper into it than we probably would standing. And let's come all the way up. Release your arm, walk your feet back into the center. And we'll repeat those on the other side. So sitting forward in your seat, Open the left leg, but then slide your hips to the right. Feel your stability right here, but open your chest towards the front of your chair. Don't turn to the left. Breathe. Notice how this feels. And then you can explore. It's always fine if you start to take the pose into a deeper variation and it doesn't feel right, then just come back to where you started. I'm going to walk my foot out on a diagonal. Toes turn slightly in so I can straighten the arm but still keep the sole of my foot on the floor. I'm trying to center myself between both legs, imagining I'm standing in this deep warrior pose, inhaling the arms out and turning to gaze to the left. Make sure you're not holding your breath. It's nice when we hold a pose, you might want to just count your breaths, taking a few in and out. And then gently bringing your right hand to your hip or your waist, turn your left palm up, stretch way out to the left, and then bend your elbow, rest your forearm on your left thigh, hug your shoulders back, keep your head in line. You may even turn your torso a little bit more to face up towards the ceiling. Try not to let your head drop, so keep it in line with your spine. And then if you want, right arm stretches up, palm facing your head. And if it's okay on your shoulder, bring that arm closer to your ear. And breathe. And then reach up to come out of the pose and start to walk your feet in towards each other. Coming back to face the front of your chair. And take a few breaths. So anytime you need a little pause, that's fine. We want to bring our attention to what we're doing. We want to feel the effects in our body. It's not about just making something look a certain way. Right? The key is listening to the directions and trying to find the pose in your own body. Right. We're going to turn completely towards the right now. So as you turn to the right, we're going to stay at the front of the chair as we did before, so that the right thigh is along the front edge of the chair. You can hold the back of the chair this time with your right hand or arm for support. And then facing towards that right side, let your left knee drop down towards the floor. Get into a stretch of the front of that left thigh. Take a moment here, just breathing. Sitting tall, and then lean a little forward. Let your back round slightly. So imagine your tailbone tucking under and your belly button drawing in and up. And then maybe you'll be able to walk your left foot back, wiggle the toes back, tuck them under, and with the heel vertical, so you don't want to twist at the ankle. Just go as far as you can towards straightening that left leg. Maybe even pressing the heel back behind you. And you may feel a shift of your weight, right? When you press into that left leg, you may feel your weight shift towards the right. Try and again equally ground both legs. And then tail tucking under, belly hugging in, curl up from the back ribs, then the side ribs, and then finally the front ribs. Let's inhale, left arm out to the side. Exhale, reach up and overhead. And again, inhale, open. Exhale, reaching up and over. Once more, inhale, opening. Exhale, reaching up and over. And as you inhale back to center, we're going to lean forward once more. Pause. And then with your left hand, bring it over to the side of your chair. Right hand can slide farther, even reaching to the opposite side of the chair. And we're going to twist, turning towards the back of the chair. So turn your upper body, look back behind you, breathe here. Good. Gently unwind Relax that left leg, let the knee drop down, slide the foot forward, and come back to center. Okay. Let's see if we can repeat all that on the other side, paying attention to your low back. So we never want to scrunch the low back. That's why we take the time to round a little to make space before we lift up. So left leg opening to the side, hips slide back, turn your whole body to the left, left arm can rest on the chair back. Let the right knee drop down towards the floor. And as you sit tall, you may already feel some stretch in the front of that thigh. Take a moment to breathe there. And then when you lean forward, notice how it may be possible to walk that right foot farther back, wiggle it back behind you, tuck the toes under, press the heel back to straighten the leg more, and notice how that makes you lean forward farther, perhaps. So pause there, let your back be a little rounded, and then draw your tailbone down, your low belly lifting up and moving back. So we're not just lifting our shoulders and head, we're moving up vertebra by vertebra until our torso is nice and tall. And again, feeling this in the front of the right thigh or the hip joint. Let's inhale, right arm out to the side, exhale, reaching up and overhead. And inhale, opening wide, and exhale, reaching up and over. One more time, inhaling, open, exhale, reaching up and over. Inhale to open, and then once again, leaning a little forward. Bring that right hand to the side of the chair, right, on that side. Bring the left hand, slide it all the way across, and then use your hands to twist. Gently unwind, arms come back, relax the back leg, let the knee drop down, slide the foot in, coming back to center. Sit back in your chair for a moment, just take a pause. Notice if your breath speeded up during that whole sequence. When we exert more effort, sometimes the breath gets a little shallow or faster. So take a moment to let everything slow down. Relax your face. And then we'll stretch our face in lion pose. So I'm going to sit away from the chair back again. Get my feet anchored, hands resting on the thighs. On the inhalation, fingers curl into a fist and you scrunch up your face like you ate something really sour. And on the exhale, fingers stretch out. We show our claws without pulling the shoulders forward. Right? Show that nice mane. And then open your eyes wide and look up. Tongue sticks out and down and we roar. Ah. Right. So let's do 3 lion poses with a breath in between. Full breath in and let it out. First lion. Curling in as you inhale and exhale, big stretch. Ah, and relax. Take a breath and let it out. Second line, scrunching in and stretch. Ah, and relax. One more time. You're welcome to laugh at yourself. I usually do. So it's inhaling, everything scrunches in. Exhale, big stretch. Ah. And let it go. Shake out your hands, rock a little side to side. And if you're not already at the front of your chair, come a little farther forward. Keep your left foot anchored. Sit as tall as possible. So holding the sides of the chair will help you lift up a little bit. You're kind of lightly pressing down with the hands to sit tall. Extend your right leg out with the foot flexed, heel on the floor. And pause. Just notice if you feel some stretch in the back of the leg already. We want to keep the spine tall, keep the shoulders back. Don't let your head bow. So keep looking forward rather than down. And very gently hinge at the top of the thigh. See if you can tilt forward with a flat back until you feel the stretch more in the back of that right leg. And then just take a few breaths there. We hold the pose and breathe. We're inviting the body to go deeper and just experience the stretch, not forcing it. Good, let's come back, bring that leg in and do the other side. Extend the left leg, flex the foot, heel on the floor. Sit as tall as you can, shoulders back, head in line, and tilting. Take your time to breathe. Good, and coming back to sit up. Big breath in and sigh it out. Let's do that again. This time, shrug your shoulders way up towards your ears as you inhale. Exhale, just let it go. Lean forward for a moment. Relax your neck. Turning head side to side a little bit again. Nodding up and down. And then coming to sit up. And get ready to come up and stand. Now, for anybody who doesn't want to stand, you can remain seated and try to follow with your breath, moving your upper body as we move into some of these stretches. But primarily as we come to stand, we're working on balance, yes, and stability on our legs. So take your time to come up to stand. Try not to collapse down. So we don't want to just lean and drop. Use your hands on the sides of the chair, lift your chest, walk your feet back a little bit, and then as you shift your weight forward, feet press down and you lift up. I'm going to adjust my monitor a little bit so that you can see my head as well. Just more or less see my feet. Okay, we're going to stay in front of the chair for a moment. So I told you we'd work on something to do with a sun breath. So that's what we're going to do now. And you could do this seated, but I like the strengthening part of doing it standing, where we allow the knees to be soft. So your knees are just kind of bending lightly, right? And we're going to take 3 sips of air to inhale. So it's kind of in 3 parts. We do this in coordination with the arms. And we'll inhale, inhale, out to the side, inhale all the way up, exhale, let your hands come to your thighs, relax your neck and head. And next inhale, sweep out and up, and exhale, arms down. So that's the sequence, okay? 3 sips, a big exhale, a big inhale up and down. Talk you through it again. So relax the knees, you kind of be a little bopping here. So we're going to inhale, arms forward, inhale, side, inhale, all the way up, exhale, bow gently, hands on thighs, and inhale, come all the way up, arms stretch high, exhale, arms float down. Take a breath. Let's do 2 more rounds of sun breath. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale all the way up and exhale, release. 1 more round of sun breath. Here we go. Inhale, 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 exhale. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, open the arms, float them out and down. And just feel the stability in your legs. Hopefully you'll feel nice and steady on 2 legs. We're going to come to the back of the chair now. I'm going to move my chair to the side, but you can come to stand behind your chair so that you're looking forward, but you have the chair to hold on to in front of you. Give yourself a little space so you're not right leaning into the chair. Feet slightly apart. Soften the knees and notice if you bend your knees, see if you can bend the knees, but also hinge at the top of the thigh. So your butt sticks back. Don't let your belly just hang out. So draw your navel towards your spine. Keep the spine nice and long. So long line from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Knees are bent, hips are hinged, and you're breathing. Hold onto the chair if you feel unsteady. Good, we're going to hold the chair now. As we straighten up, we're going to rise up onto the balls of the feet and then lower down. So I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to rise up onto the balls of the feet. You can try keeping both hands on the chair. You can stretch an arm out to the side just to play with your balance. Coming up to the balls of the feet and slowly rolling back down. Let's do 2 more of those. Rolling up to the balls of the feet and back down. Last one. Rising up and coming down. Good. Pause a moment, soften the knees, give a little wiggle. Let's prepare now for a tree pose. So our balance pose is going to bring all your weight onto your left leg. Let your right knee bend, coming onto the ball of that foot, and open the leg out, but not turning your hips. So keep facing forward. And breathe. Hold the chair for support as you work your way into this pose. Focus your gaze someplace out in front of you, and then bring the sole of your right foot alongside the left ankle or even higher up the calf. Gently press the foot and the leg together and just feel any little wobbling that happens in your body. Breathe deeply. You can keep both hands on the chair or explore stretching one arm up towards the ceiling. And then you can switch. You can bring that arm down and stretch the other. If you feel really steady, you could try lifting both hands. You don't have to lift them far off the chair. You just want to stay tall and breathe. Grow down through your roots and up through your branches. Okay, let's release this side. Take a moment just shifting your weight side to side. And find the place in the middle for a moment. And then we'll do the other side. So shifting the weight to your right leg, but still lifting up through your middle, facing forward. Bend the left knee, turning the leg out. And when you're ready, bringing the sole of the foot alongside the right ankle or higher up the calf. Not to press right on your knee. Right? So you want to either be below the knee, or if you're able to get way up above the knee, that's fine too, just not pressing on the knee. Right? So stand really tall and breathe. And notice if the two sides feel a little different. It's typical. One side may feel steadier than the other. Focus your gaze out in front of you. Explore balance if you want. Right? Maybe just one arm at a time. Maybe lifting the other hand for just a second. So lots of options for you to play with as you strengthen the legs. Good, come back to 2 feet. And again, just shift your weight side to side. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what my back looks like. We're going to do a standing cat and cow. So this is similar to what we did seated. And if you're sitting, you can do what we did sitting down, rounding and arching. But just for the heck of it, we're going to try doing that from a standing position. So you can hold the chair, right? Or you can bend your knees and have your hands on your thighs. So hopefully you can see right now I'm starting with a flat back. And then I'm going to exhale and round, tucking my tail under, pulling my low ribs in and back, letting my head bow. And then I'm going to tip my tailbone up and lengthen my chest forward. So exhale to round into the cat stretch. Inhale into cow. And again, exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. One more time. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. And then straighten up gently. And breathe here. Good. Holding onto the chair. Step your right foot a little closer in towards the back of your chair. And I'm facing sideways, but you're facing forward. So same relationship to your chair. I'm going to lean forward. So I'm getting all my weight on my right foot. And I'm breathing. And as I get all my weight on my right foot, I'm going to push into the floor with that leg and start to float my left leg up behind me. And as that leg lifts, I'm lengthening my chest forward. I'm trying to bring my torso and my leg horizontal. And breathe. Once again, just feel any little wobbling. You can keep both hands where they are on the back of the chair. You can bring your right hand down onto the seat of the chair, then maybe both hands on the seat of the chair. Breathe. And gently release that left leg down and make your way back up to stand. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So standing on your left foot now, you're leaning into the chair. Give yourself a little space away from the chair so you don't hit it with your body, but leaning forward, hinging at the hip, bend into the right knee. So the left knee. So get your weight on that left leg and start to slide your right foot back. And then once you have your weight on your left leg, push into the floor to straighten that leg. Reach your torso forward as your right leg floats up. The right foot is flexed. Toes point down. And breathe. And then optional, bringing one hand at a time onto the chair seat. If you can reach over the chair back, breathe. And gently release the leg down. And roll yourself up to stand. Take a moment here, circle your shoulders. Let's do one more standing pose and then we'll relax for a moment. So I'm going to take my legs wider. Your chair is in front of you, so one or both hands can rest on the chair for support. Start with your feet parallel, so toes pointing forward, which may feel a little weird. Okay. So we're going to change that in a moment, but we're going to keep the left foot pointing forward and turn the right leg out to the side. So we're making a T shape with our feet. Lift up through your rib cage and open up towards your chair. So try not to turn your upper body. One or both hands can lift and raise out to the side. So you can always keep one hand on the chair. For the right side, let's extend the right arm. If you can just keep the left hand on the chair. And you're going to shift your hips to the left and stretch way out to the right for triangle pose. But if you feel steady, you can release the left hand. If not, just keep it on the chair. Bring your right hand to your right leg and then try to open. So here's where the chair can be helpful if you're holding with your left hand, to just open your chest. Try and bring your whole body more in line with that right leg. And then if you're steady on the feet, left arm can go to the sky. Good. Reach way up to come out of the pose and turn the right foot parallel. Turn the left leg out. Again, try not to turn your upper body to the side. You're facing forward even though the legs are slightly skewed. This time, try holding with your right hand as you extend the left arm out. And then hips tip towards the right. You stretch to the left, reach way out to the side. And when you can't go any farther, bring your left hand to your leg. Use the chair, if you want, to help you really wrap those left ribs underneath. Bring your head in line with everything else and then possibly stretch the right arm up. And release, coming up, turning the feet parallel, and you can walk the feet in a little closer, just a little wider than hip width, and stretch the chest forward. You can round if that feels good on your back, letting your knees soften, head just hanging for a moment. And then roll yourself up, step the feet together, and come on back and sit. So come around and sit on your chair once again. And you're welcome to sit back in the chair, just leaning back. Relax your face. Relax your legs and feet, your ankles and toes. Relax your shoulders. Try and let go of all the muscles. So let the arms just hang, hands resting on your lap. Relaxing the wrists and the fingers. You're welcome to close your eyes. And for this last minute, simply allow your body to receive. Breath come and go however it needs to. Letting your eyes rest inside the eyeball. Lids close gently over your eyes. You can relax the muscles of your eyes. Nothing to see. Softening. Gazing inward, if anything, but not really looking anywhere. Just allowing yourself to be present. Begin to bring your attention back to your breathing. And take a few deeper breaths. Just think about sending energy with each breath. You're bringing in fresh oxygen, and each exhale getting rid of stale air and letting that fresh oxygen filter throughout your body. Begin to move or stretch in any way that feels good to you. And gradually come to sit more upright on your chair. Lengthen up through your spine, chest wide. Lift the hands and bring your palms together in front of your heart. And let's join together to chant the sound of Om to close. Take a nice deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions or you just want to say hi, you're welcome to unmute yourself. We'll stop the recording.